I'm recording. Yeah. Uh, I am making a tier list video of toy companies and responding to texts. Even though I should have done that before I started recording, but I didn't look down at my phone. Whatever. All right. So I'm gonna explain some of the tiers, even though most of them are like self-explain, pretty self-explanatory. This one right here, question mark. I know nothing about this company, or I either didn't even know it existed but never really looked into it, or I've seen pictures but not enough to really form an opinion. Or not, no, not enough to really, understand what they are. Never owned figures. I never owned, so I haven't really, you know. If I have an opinion on them and I've never owned them, I'll put them here and then tell my opinion. But otherwise, just figures I never owned. Dookie, they're Dookie. They're bad. I probably will never or will never again buy from them. Mid. They're not god awful, but they're not, they're not up there. They're not really my choice. Good. They're good, but like they're not something I would like. I said I have to have it. Awesome. They're great. Love them. I forgot to. By the way, this is all my opinion, so this does not apply to everyone. And if you disagree, that's okay. Then, have fun. Alright? I really don't care. This is my opinion. Alright? Goated. They're like really good and close to some of the best companies I've ever owned. Or just seen pictures from, and I already can tell they're goated. The best. It's the best, again, in my opinion. Now I'm gonna start with the question mark, and then we're gonna start with the question mark. All right. I don't know too much about this company, but I looked it up, and it seems like a McFarlane. If like some figures look like McFarlane figures, some figures look like Mayfix figures, and other figures look like Mezco. So I really don't know too much about them, but I've seen some things. Never seen a figure from these. I thought that was just like a portion of like the DC brand. So like you know companies that make DC figures go here. I don't know anything about them. I'm pretty sure they're the people that made what's it called? Um, the people that made the JJK figures, not Figuarts. Um Figma. I'm pretty sure they're the people that made Figma. 3-0. All I know about them is they have cool looking Iron Man figures, but I'm pretty sure they're like super expensive. I don't even know what that's. I have no clue what that is. No clue what that is. No clue what that is. And that's it. Everything else, I at least know what it is. I'm gonna start with the never owned ones. Mattel. Never owned a figure from them. The only thing I know is that they own Hot Wheels, um, board games, Barbie Girl, or Barbie Girl, Barbie, and they were the people that made the Secret Wars, the old Secret Wars toys. That's literally all I know about them. That's cool, but again, never owned it, and uh, I guess I should put them in the question mark. No, because I do know what they are. I'll look up some Mattel figures. Matter of fact, I'll look them up now on video. We can get my live reaction. Mattel figures. Oh, they're the ones that make the WWE figures. I don't really like WWE, but it's cool. Barbie, dinosaurs, old Green Lantern figure. It looks old. Oh, Rugrats toy. Why the freak is a figure on here? I said Mattel, not Bandai. Okay, all right, I see. I get it. I get it. Yeah, they don't look horrid. I probably would never buy any of these just because I don't really like WWE. Alright, where's the list? Here. Alright, so yeah, I never owned them, and I probably never will, but like, you know. I'm sorry, alright? They look awesome, but they can't pose for crap. And I haven't even had that many, but I know for a fact those things cannot pose. And you know what? Yep, it's not as bad as them. You know what? Yeah, it is. Their articulation is around the same. They're basically statues that look like statues. Yeah, they're basically statues. NECA, mid. Yeah, I said it. It really depends on the figures you get. Cause like I don't even know what his name is. I think he's the boys and he's that. What's his name? I don't remember. But yo, that guy looked absolutely buns. And they're just really disappointing figures. Like they typically look good when you get them, but then you take them out of the box and you're like, what did I just pay $30 for? You know what? They're going to Dookie. I don't care. I don't care what no one says. All right, Lego, good. They're good only because they don't have no. I mean, they have no articulation. I mean, they do, but like not really. And if I'm gonna put these guys in Dookie for looking, except for this one, looking great but having zero articulation, why would I put this one in good? I think it's because Lego isn't just an action figure brand. They also make Lego sets, so they I think they should go in good. All right, now we're getting to now we're getting to the spicy ones. Toy Biz. I've owned Toy Biz, and honestly, I'm not super mad at them. You know, I have the Beast, and he's pretty cool. I mean, he has a. I didn't mean to do that. He has a movable mouth. He has toe articulation, which both are things that we beg for from Hasbro when they give us beasts or just animal type characters. We always beg for I don't know about everyone else, but I know I typically like when they give mouth articulation, like or like even skeleton figures. I like when they give mouth articulation, just because it just adds more. And toe articulation, well, it's self-explanatory. But there were ones that just didn't look right, So I'm gonna put it in mid, cause Toy Biz, they're good. Head sculpts were typically pretty cool, but they're mid. All right. Hot Toys, mid. They look. I'm gonna put it in good, just cause they look amazing. But they're $300 dolls. Those things are dolls. I don't care what anyone says. They have soft goods. Their articulation is typically pretty bad. I know it's just like a meme, like POV. A figure moves. Hot Toys to collectors. Oh my god, his articulation's insane. Like, dude. And plus they're massive, so like unless Hot Toys is the only thing you collect, they just won't look right. Unless it's like Galactus or something, they just won't look good in collection. Now, the only ones that I think are acceptable, not acceptable, but like the only ones that I think are like pretty good and I'd probably buy if I could, Venom and Carnage or symbiote figures. just 'cause they look so good as that slimy, squishy plastic, like not plastic or whatever they make their figures out of. So I'm gonna put them in good just because of that looks, but they don't pose that well. They're $300 for dolls, and they're insanely big. Super 7, good. I like their Simpsons figures. I've never had one, but from pictures they look good. But they're like $80. I think it's $82. It goes for that astronaut Homer. So they're way too expensive for the figures that they are. But for the figures that they are, they're good. Hasbro. I don't care what anyone says. They're goated. Alright? But they're toys. I'm not gonna say that they're the best thing in the world, because they're not. But they're pretty darn good. For $25 and what used to be $20, they're pretty freaking good. I mean, like, you've got companies that are $300 Hot Toys, and they barely even have like ab crunch or anything. So I think Hasbro's pretty dang good. All right, Storm Collectibles, goated. All right, their figures are pretty expensive, and I've never owned one. I do have, but I am gonna get the Baki though, the Storm Arena one. And I think just for Storm Arena alone, they're pretty goated. Their Street Fighter figures look beautiful. And I'm already collecting the Jada line, but honestly, if I wasn't, I might have gotten those. I'm probably still gonna get. I probably would have gotten the Jada ones still because they take longer than Jada does. I think. Maybe I'm wrong. Because by the time I decided to get Street Fighter figures, they had already come out with Ryu and Ken, to my knowledge. Because I only, really I didn't even know that existed when I started collecting Street Fighter figures. But, you know, I think they're really good looking. Alright, I'd love to get one, and I can't wait for Baki. Now we're getting into the big hitters. And I love how all of these are like minimum over $40. And Jada's just over here, it's like 25 bucks, maybe 30. Now I'm gonna start with Revoltech. Never owned one, but they do look pretty freaking good because their articulation looks amazing. I especially love their anime figures because Spider-Man. I always thought that one looked weird because of like the way they did the articulation, but like Ochaka, Ochaka, or uh, wow, really showing my knowledge here. I've really only seen the Stitch. Stitch is a good one. Really only seen Ochaka. Like that's the only one I've like seen videos about that I can remember. Cause I remember being like, oh, dang, that looks like a Figuarts. Cause they did articulation well without making them look weird. But because of those ones that look weird, I'm just gonna put it in awesome. Cause they're good, but they're not goated. Mafex. I've only ever owned one Mafex, and I'm not even sure if it was a real one because I was like 6, and I got a Spider-Man. It had to have been, it couldn't have been a real one because I know for a fact my parents were not buying $60 figures for their 6-year-old. But just off that figure alone, even if it was a fake, I really liked it, and I love their figures. It's just they're $60-$70 minimum. I think I looked on Big Bad one time and I put it like lowest to highest. I'm pretty sure their cheapest was like 60 bucks. So just for that, I'm gonna put them in awesome, not goated. Figuarts, goated. Alright. They're expensive as well. But I just can't get over the fact that it's actually worth it. I'm not gonna say that Mafex isn't, but it isn't. But Figuarts, however. My Naruto, he's $30, and I love this Naruto, man. I've had him for a long time, and he hasn't broken like once. I haven't broken one of them. No, my old one, that one was chewed up, but it was never. But I didn't break it. It was chewed up by my dogs. And Figuarts, Mayfex, and those import companies are known for being fragile. Now, I think you know where this is going. That's my chair, not not me. And oh my god. I'd like to take a second to just appreciate Jada. And and this is coming from a person who's only recently started like paying attention to Jada. Like I mean by recently I mean like recently, like in the past few months. I got my first Jada figure, which was Fei Long, by the way. That was the first one I ever opened. And I still, where is he? He's in a bag. I think he's on my desk behind. Yeah, he's right here in the same bag with Ryu. And dude, these figures, man, they're just so good. Like they're import level figures with a Marvel Legends. They're okay, maybe not import, but they're like slightly above Marvel Legend level with a Marvel Legends durability. So they're peak. Alright, I don't care what anyone says. Alright, and those invincible figures, import level. Import level. Now, I'm seeing people being like, oh, the head sculpts don't look that good. The paint scratching, or oh, the blah 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 blah. Okay, that was I don't know what I said there. Like, just a bunch of complaints. And I do want to say, those are prototypes. Yeah, yeah, those are prototypes. And they already look so good as prototypes. The only thing I'm upset with is the fact I have to wait a year to get them. Yo, yeah, I gotta freaking. They come out in 2026, and like, dude, the moment I saw those figures, I instantly pulled up Amazon Prime Video, started watching Invincible because I hadn't finished it yet. Cause I was like, all right, bro, this is the last straw. I'm finishing it. I was already planning to watch it too, but I wanted to watch it with my dad. But we just never like I'd be like, oh, we should just finish Invincible. 1 week later. Oh, hey, Bobby, I think we should finish Invincible. And so like I was like, all right, man, I ain't waiting no more. This is the last straw. So I just finished it. I binged it. Like I binged the crap out of that show. And I'm so happy I did. And it's genuinely, it's probably one of my favorite shows of all time. I was jumping for joy when watching. I'm not gonna spoil anything. Watching episode 8 because it had so many memes in it. And watching the conquest fight, 'cause I had another few memes in it. But anyways, that's off topic. Jada is my personal favorite brand at this moment. Now, if it wasn't for the fact that Jada has these Invincible figures and their new Street Fighter figures, Hasbro would probably be up here because that's what most of my collection is. If anyone were to look at my room, they would see almost all Marvel Legends. I mean, like, if I were to put them in shelves, I think I'd have at least a wall and a half full of Marvel Legends. Okay. No, that's a lie. Maybe one wall full. If I filled them to the brim, I'd probably have like 3/4 of a wall full. Like to the very, very brim. Each shelf goes all the way to the tippy top. Yikes, I don't know how many I'd have if I filled every shelf that's like a foot in width and a foot in height. And I filled them all as much as I could. And each shelf column goes all the way to my ceiling. I don't know how, but like I'd probably have maybe a quarter and a half of one of my walls filled, maybe more. Point is, most of my collection is Marvel Legends. All right, and yet still, Jada's just so good for their price. Now, the video's come to an end. I have to do the YouTuber thing. I don't want to. I really don't. But if it's the only way I can get people to subscribe, like, and I don't know, share something, comment if you agree. I don't freaking know. Just do the things. Do it, please. I need it, bro. I need it. Not really, but like I'd enjoy it. It makes me smile. It makes me warm inside. I don't make money from this. I hope you just saying. So I'm not gaining anything from you subscribing aside from a smile on my face and maybe a very happy text to my parents and girlfriend. But yeah, please um sub, like, comment, and watch my streams. You don't have to, but I'd enjoy that. Cause matter of fact, I'm streaming this whole thing right now as I'm recording. I'm streaming because I like it's gonna be like it's like the behind the scenes. So if you want to see me record the video, I don't have a face cam by the way, but if you want to see me record this video and like everything I did to make the video, then check out the live. But otherwise, I done. I did my thing. Now you gotta do yours. And you gotta like subscribe. You don't. I'm being stupid. I'm going to say bye bye now. I you're gonna see me click the stop recording button. Because I don't know how to edit on my PC. I only know how to edit on my phone. And man, I gotta explain my shit to you. Stop.